Good morning, everyone. I'm Kimberly Ann, founder, CEO of Lahontan Gold Corp. We have assets in the Walker Lane, Nevada, a lovely tier 1 jurisdiction. Two of our assets are past producers, both gold and silver, and our third asset is a silver exploration project. We're fairly new to the market. We've been trading for about a year, so we're just starting to hit our runway, and it's been a very fun. Basically, since January, it's been super fun. We put out our main resource, and we've been making some major strides since then. Our Santa Fe asset is a heap-leach past producer that was mined from 1988 to 1992 by a company called Corona Gold. 400,000 ounces of gold and 710,000 ounces of silver were mined during a 4-year mine life. This is when gold was very challenging, metal prices of $350, $400. So as you can imagine, it sat there idle after they shut it down and getting brought into a big company's hands, and took a few years to get it back 100% ownership to move it forward. Our second asset, Moho, is a fantastic high-grade gold and silver vein system, 1 to 4 meter veins, but 25 grams gold, 300 silver. It's never been in the public domain. It's only been in my private company with my business partner, so we're really excited to get this story out there. It was just a special project that was owned by two beautiful people that wanted to build a cabin on the patent claims, and unfortunately that did not happen, and we were lucky enough to get our hands on it. Our silver asset is called Relic. It's a asset right next door to the Candelaria open pit, mined for 30 years, so great location, and we have drill permits on all 3 of our assets. We have great infrastructure, as you can imagine, in Nevada, given that we have a mine that is still under closure. We have road access. We have 2 wells on the property. We have a substation, etc. Management and board own a very, very large chunk of this company. Victoria Gold owns 38%. Myself and my business partner own 11%, and then the rest of the board own another 2%. So we're in the Walker Lane, Nevada. As you can see there, the star of Santa Fe. Just to the left of that is a little town called Hawthorne. It's where we have our operations, our warehouse, our team, our core, etc. It's only 30 kilometers away, so it's really kind of a dream for our team to work out of this area, because they can go out and pick up the core and go back and log and get back to work. Moho and Relic are just down the road. We do have a drill rig that just started drilling today at Santa Fe, so it's a really exciting time. Here's what Santa Fe looks like from a drone footage. The shadow in the back there, that's our largest pit on the property. It's called the Santa Fe pit. The ones in the forefront of the picture is the slab Calvada area. As you can see, they're quite small. This was mined at the end of mine life when they were just trying to get the next bench. There was virtually no strip ratio. So herein lies the opportunity for us. There's 100,000 meters of drilling, over 1,200 drill holes that we inherited. So we did not start at ground zero. Our land package is 19 square kilometers. In January 17th, we put out a resource of 1.7 million ounces as our maiden resource. 1 million of that is in oxide. That is focused in and around the Santa Fe, Slab, and Calvada region thus far. Our goal right now is to continue drilling this out. We have 11,000 meters of a drill program that we just initiated. And then by the end of this year, in Q4, we'll put out our updated main resource to prove to the market our results. It's 1.12 grams gold EQ, so great grade in the Walker Lane. Below this beautiful oxide, we do have high-grade sulfides, but our focus right now is, proving out how much oxide is in this system. So we like to use this chart to just show the market that Nevada explorers in the Great Basin area, where our grade comes into play, as well as our main resource ounces in the ground. We have a long ways to go as far as our drill programs, but I think you can see there we have a nice grade that will hold together, and I like to say grade solves a lot of problems, so we're pretty excited to be sitting here with the main resource looking this good. So this is a little bit of geology here. I just want you to notice we did a pit constrained model with our resource. So the black line around the pits is the resource, but all those beautiful colors and blocks outside of that we could not put in the resource because we just didn't have enough close enough spacing. So our team is working really hard in the slab Calvata complex to bring them into the next model. We do imagine that the slab Calvata region will be a super pit. So this is a really focused time for us. We did just announce about a month ago our plan of operation. This is all our baseline studies because really this time next year we want to make a production decision, and we can't do that without these studies and drilling a bit more. But really the message is here. We don't need to continue to drill and drill and drill. We have enough ounces right now to go back into production. So these studies will help us next year be 10 steps ahead of where we would be if we weren't doing them. Most companies at our stage don't do this because it's $500,000 worth of studies. It takes about 18 months because you need spring and fall to look for raptors and whatever else they like to look for. But we think this is a great way to fast track this project. So this is a cross-section of the Santa Fe deposit. You just see the redox boundary, the black dotted line. The Santa Fe pit that was mined was only 90 meters deep, and that was the largest pit. But all those beautiful blocks there, very good grade. We used a 0.25 cutoff, the little blue dots. You don't see many of them. Really, the message here is massive continuity. It's a dream for the miners on the ground. And then under that, in the shadowed area, those are all blocks that we'd like to be bringing into the next resource. But there's just a lot of upside from this view. This is what it looks like on the surface. It's absolutely stunning, honestly. That whole sunlit wall you're looking at is all oxide material. So, I always like to tell my team, if you miss with a drill hole, you're fired, because this is not ground field. This green field. This is, you're going to drill some holes, and we're going to figure out how much is here and how big can we make this pit. And they kind of laugh at me a lot about this, but it's really true. So we're just really focused on how big this pit's going to be, how far we're going to lay this back, and how deep we're going to go with it. So the slab Calvata area, as you can see, all those lovely arrows. There's massive locations here to drill. The strip ratio project-wide right now is 2.31. So we're looking at this, and we're trying to add some higher grade ounces in this area. The production back in 88 to 92 was about 0.75, and we're seeing some higher grades in some of our drilling, so we think we can bring up that grade, and that helps on all fronts. And here's just a side view of this, and you can see all those gray vertical holes. Those were all holes that they were focusing on finding more mineralization so that they could mine, but they're really shallow. They're 50 to 70 meter holes. We've come back in and drilled some deep holes down to 280 meters, but what's exciting about this is we're not hitting transition yet. It is all oxide. So where do you go to look for more oxide? Right here. It's the low-hanging fruit, and that's why we started the program here. Also, when you're thinking about mining this project, because there's virtually no strip over here, you'd start here, do your layback at Santa Fe, and then move the rig over, or move the team over once it's ready. The land package, as you can see, all those red dots are the drilling that's taken date over a long time. That's the 1,200 meters, including our program we've done of 14,000 meters to date. And as you can see, there's a lot of those holes, but they're spread out. So we think this is a massive district. Between ourselves and our neighbor, 42 Gold, we have over a 5 million ounce district and growing, and I think that's going to double the next few years. It's a really exciting place to play right now, and our goal is to figure out how big the system can be. This is my geology dream page because I don't think they realize how much it costs to drill, but virtually everywhere on our property we have places to drill, and we will be focusing again on the slab Calvata zone, and then adding some drill holes around the Santa Fe pit to see how big we're going to be making that pit. So we put out a resource January 17th, we were trading at 6 cents. We've traded high as 28.5 since then. We did a financing of $3 million. We were oversubscribed, and I didn't take more than that, so we weren't over diluting. We can do what we want to accomplish with that money. As you can see, though, it's an exciting runway ahead of us. The average resource ounce of the ground is $33, and we're getting 16, so we know we have a great runway to, move that share price in a short timeline. Victoria Gold is a big shareholder because they vetted in the Santa Fe asset. KA Gold is myself and my partner. We vended in the other two assets. Our institute holdings are mostly focused on the U.S. We are on the OTCQB as well, so we really want to focus on getting fast-tracked to get on the big board. And yes, we have some work to do, but I think we're going to be having a big discussion about this time next year. So the immediate goal is to drill out the 11,000 meters at our Santa Fe project. We'll have a second rig showing up in June. One rig will move over to our Moho project because it's high-grade narrow veins that we don't have time to talk about today. We will use the RC rig to pre-collar, so we're saving money, and then when we can get our core rig out there, we'll finish it off through the vein system with the core rig. And then the second rig we will keep at the Santa Fe project till we're ready to launch our next estimate or resource estimate. And then Q1 of next year, we're looking at putting out our PEA, putting some numbers around this so we can make it a production decision. That's all I got.